Okay, Representative Beckerfin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I'm wondering, Mr. Assistant Commissioner Meyer, if you can speak to where is the money currently coming from to address chronic wasting disease with the testing and the extra work that the DNR has to do? Is that coming from the deer management account, or is that coming from somewhere else?
Commissioner Meyer.
Mr. Chairman, members, and thank you, Representative Becker-Finn. Last year, we received an appropriation from the Heritage Enhancement account at one time for about I think it was $500,000. Unfortunately, our costs were over $1 million to do that, so we did take the rest of those funds from the Game and Fish Fund. I can't tell you exactly what account they came, but assume it came from the general Game and Fish Fund account, but I'll get you a breakout of where those dollars were exactly and how much we were paying. The deer hunters were paying for that disease, one way or another. The licenses, the money that they have, licensing dollars go into the Game and Fish Fund. This will help identify those costs in the future, as Director Ingwall was talking about. The deer hunters will be able to see in our annual Game and Fish Fund report where those $16 or the revenues that we went into the deer account were. Next year, I'm assuming if we don't deal with that funding issue, you will see a line item in that report taking money out of the deer account for CWD enforcement and that monitoring activity.
I see Ms. Julich is kind of nodding her head over there on some of these numbers and accounts. So, okay, Representative Beckerfin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So would you say that chronic wasting disease is a one-time, one-year problem?
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Meyer.
Representative. No, in fact, so what we did last year throughout the state in these areas that we had under quarantine, so to speak, we did monitoring. Crow Wing County, we did extensive monitoring and sampling. We didn't detect any more cases, so we're going to back off a little bit, but we still need to continue that monitoring. Our protocol is that we need to test for if we have 3 clean years, then we consider that area free of CWD, at least temporarily. So we need to test in those areas for 3 years or more. You will see extensive ramp up in Winona County, for example, from what we just saw there. And also we need to continue our work at the same level, if not more, in Fillmore County because of the additional cases that we found through our sample.
Representative Beckerfin.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. So basically, my concern is that, our deer hunters statewide are going to be the ones on the hook, and the money is going to be coming away from other management and habitat things that we're trying to accomplish to address an issue that's clearly linked to the deer farm industry. And, I passed out an article earlier this week about that problem, and really that being kind of the epicenter of where this problem is developing. I'm wondering, Mr. Engwall, while you're up here, if you could just speak a little bit about what you're hearing from your members and whether you think this is an issue. Do we need to address chronic wasting disease this session?
Mr. Engwall.
Mr. Chair, committee members, Representative Beckerfin, we're keenly interested in the CWD issue, no question about it. I was at the DNR Deer Plan meeting yesterday. We talked about it in depth. So yes, we will be having further discussions about that. Today I'm focused like a laser beam on getting this money dedicated to the deer management account. So I really came here to speak to that. But on many occasions in the future, we'll be here to talk about our interest in CWD, which is great.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Representative Beckerfin.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. And just finally, I just want to make that connection that the money, putting the money in this count is very much related to chronic wasting disease and the funds that we're being forced to put into dealing with that issue. So I just want everyone who cares about deer hunting and deer hunters and our ability to continue to eat venison in Minnesota, that we're always paying attention to that, because it really is related to that. And I would hate for all of our licensed dollars to be going to manage a problem that isn't actually created or exacerbated by deer hunters. So thank you for speaking to that. Thank you.